Hey guys, welcome to the second part of the Death Screen GUI tutorial. Today I am going to be showing you how to make the ability to spectate when the player dies. This is going to be a continuation of the first part of the death screen. So if you haven't already checked the first video before watching this video, then I recommend watching the first part first. Now, this is the GUI screen that we made in the first part. It's pretty simple, and that's why in this video we are going to be adding a spectate feature to it. So first what you want to do is head over to the screen GUI that we made in the last video, and in the frame add a button called Spectate button. Now customize the button to your liking and set the text to something like Spectate. Now after you've done that, disable the entire screen GUI. Then inside of the starter GUI add a new screen GUI and name it Spectate GUI. After you've done that, add 3 text buttons into the Spectate GUI. Now, place the first button in the middle and call it Exit button. Then place another button at the right side of the screen and call it Next button. Then take the last button and place it on the left side of the screen and name it Prev button. Set the text of the middle button to Exit. Then make the text of the next button this arrow thingy. And then set the Prev button's text to this arrow thing. Now add a local script to the Spectate GUI and copy what I write. We will start with some variables. Now I'm going to write this function, which looks for spectatable players. This line right here will loop all the players that are in the game. This line basically means that if the player that is being looped through does not equal to your player. Why is this needed? Well, so that you cannot basically spectate yourself. Now I'm going to write this function, which is for the button's visibility, so that if there is nobody to spectate, then the button will disappear. This function will be for updating the target, which is the player that you are spectating. Now, what those two lines means is that if you go forward down the player list and the player that you are spectating is a bigger number than all the players in the game, it will go to the target one, which is the first player in the player list. What I mean by that is when you press the forward button to spectate another player, you are going to spectate another player going forward. Let's say that there are 5 players in the game, player 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and when you are spectating the 5th player, that is the last player in the list because there are no more players in the server. So when you press the forward button to go to the next player, it will go back to player 1. Hope that makes sense. Now I am going to make the function so that the player actually starts spectating when he presses the Spectate button. And now I am going to make a function so that the player can stop spectating whenever then press the Exit button. Now let's make the connection so that when the player clicks the Spectate button, it starts spectating and actually makes the death screen GUI invisible. And now let's make the connection so that when the player clicks the Exit button, it stops spectating and makes the death screen visible again. Now I'm going to write the connection so that when the player presses the next button, it spectates another player going forward the player list. Same for the previous button, so that when the player presses it, spectates the next player going backwards the player list. Now those two functions will basically update the target every time a player joins or leaves, so that it updates the player list and the player that you're spectating. And well, it should be everything for this script, so let's test it out. Make sure you have both the Screen GUI disabled and the Spectate GUI disabled before you start. Seems like I messed something up. As you can see, there's an error in the output. So let's go ahead and fix it. Easy fix, just add a 0 there. Now, as you can see, the Spectate button doesn't show up because there are no other players in the game. Now we have 2 players in the game, so let's see if it works. As you can see, the Spectate button now shows up as there is another player in the game. And when we click it, we can successfully spectate the player. And as you can see, you cannot spectate yourself. And the next button and previous button currently don't do anything because there are no more players to spectate. Also, as you can see, the exit button also works. I will also now Alt F4 so that you can see that the button is not visible when player leave the game and there are no more players to spectate. As you can see, the button disappeared after I left the game and there were no more players to spectate. Now, as you can see, there are a lot more players now in the game, so let's test the spectate feature even more. As you can see, I am now spectating a player, and after pressing the next button, I spectate another player. And after pressing the previous button, I spectate another person, but it goes down the list backwards. After leaving the spectating and respawning, my camera is now not spectating anyone. It's normal as it should be. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. Now I will still be making more videos on the Death Screen GUI, but I will also focus on other Roblox Studio tutorials. So yeah, I hope you have a good day or night, and see you in another video. Bye.